Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our SaVeg take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the SaVeg podcast.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
God damn, that sounded very that's the deepest I've ever heard Daniel's
hey guys.
voice.
What's going on? How's everyone doing today? You all right over there, Rose?
That's what I call Daniel's straight man voice.
That is not. I had a better one. That's just me going really deep.
Okay, what's your straight man voice?
I'm not gonna do it.
Because it's not very good, guys.
This is the voice that reminds me of, like, you know, when you go to a drag show and there'll be this glamorous drag queen, beautiful woman, and she'll get onto the mic and she'll say, "Hey, how's everyone's not doing?" And you're like, "Holy shit!" Like, is it just me, or do like drag queens have like the deepest voices ever? Right?
Yes.
Hey, who's that pretty lady over there? And you're like, "Oh my god!" It's such a mind fuck.
I think it's because they're dressed as like women. It's like it almost, when they have like a normal deep man's voice, it like makes it appear extra deep. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get
like
that.
If it was like a voice on a man, like obviously they're all men, but like if he wasn't dressed like a drag queen, you would just think, oh, it's a normal man with just a man's voice. But because he has this like, you know, women's appearance, all of a sudden
it makes it seem deeper.
Exactly. You're just like, holy shit, because it's such a contrast.
Yeah, it's like a drag king.
So that was your drag queen voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so if a drag king you know, had a very feminine voice, it would stand out more.
It would
right?
seem more feminine, extra, I guess, hyper feminine. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I dressed up as,
You think you're hyper feminine?
I guess I was asking for that one.
You were.
Anyway, you guys. Oh my God, are there Patreon shout outs?
Oh God.
God damn, you is unprepared. Oh my God, but guys, updation. We came back from fucking Cancun.
We survived.
What do you mean we survived?
We survived. We made it back alive.
What, we're gonna die?
I don't think so.
God damn! Why you say we survived?
Well, we got through security. We were able to, you know.
We got through the week of endless eating and drinking.
We passed. We got our COVID test back negative.
Oh my God!
Although it was scary.
It was scary. We were like, what if it's like not negative? Like, what if it's positive? I was like, we're gonna get stuck here, and I'm gonna have to eat this fucking. What, like, honestly, what is the plan?
Yeah.
Anyone ever got stuck in Mexico?
Well, this is the thing. I wonder what would happen now. Like, because I didn't actually know. I'm like, if my test came back positive, like, they're not going to let you on a plane.
And you probably can't leave your room.
No, you probably have to be like, stay there and be like, you're now under quarantine for 2 weeks.
So how do you eat? You just like get room service?
They'd have to bring it to your room, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I honestly don't know how it would work.
I would die.
Yeah.
Imagine like 2 weeks of that. Oh my God.
Stuck in the hotel room.
Okay, like literally.
Looking out the window, seeing people have fun in the pool.
Oh my God. At least our room had a ocean view. I'll just like keep looking at the ocean.
Just sit there.
And go fucking crazy.
And I was laughing. I was saying to Rose, I was like, what would happen if like you got the positive and I got the negative?
Oh my God. Honestly, I seriously, like, one part of me, because I checked Daniel's results first. It came to my room and I was like, okay, Daniel's negative. I was like, fuck, what if I'm positive?
This is a new travel concern.
Oh my God. It's actually like kind of scary. And now the fucking, you know what? First let's do this shout out.
Yeah.
And I need to talk about this new variant situation.
Okay.
I
don't think we have any new Patrons.
Okay, never mind. No new patrons. Guys, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Give us some shout outs, okay?
Get that exclusive content.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, of course, we have a Patreon page, patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Link is below and in the show notes. If you guys want to join us, you get an extra bonus episode only for the patrons every single month. So you get some exclusive content and, of course, ad-free episodes.
Guys.
And the episodes come a week earlier than everybody else, so it's a lot more timely. So join us, guys, for as little as $3 a month.
$3 a month, guys.
Anyways, let's talk about the
let's
fucking
oh
new.
my God.
What? Fuck my fucking Okay, we haven't talked about this for a while.
We
Like
haven't
COVID. Okay,
Guys, we've been really good because remember we were
I
talking
know.
about COVID like every episode.
it's because like also we were getting so tired of talking about it as well. But and we didn't really have any like new news really about COVID until now.
Until now, guys.
So what the fuck is this
What's
variant?
the breaking news, Rose?
There's a new variant in like South Africa.
Yeah. So well, they don't. The thing with these new variants is they can't like. I feel like you can't just blame like not.
Oh
blame
yeah,
a
no one's
country,
blaming.
but-
Yeah. But it's been found in South Africa.
And again, it's not shocking that it's coming from a country. Like again, a variant could come in any country, right? But if a country has a low vaccination rate,
Yep.
you're more likely to get cases. You're more likely to get variants that happen, and that's basically what happens. So,
Oh God. It says Canada's first cases of the how do you say it? Omicron coronavirus variant confirmed in Ottawa.
Also, who names these variants?
I was just
I want to be a variant namer now. I'm like,
I would like that job.
Yeah.
Like, what was the first one?
I can't remember what the first one was.
And then it was Delta.
So there's Delta.
No, but Delta was the third one then, wasn't it?
What was
or
it?
is this the third one? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
And this one is Omicron.
Omicron.
I don't know who names these variants. Maybe it's named by whichever company like discovers it or something. I don't know.
It could be, or it could have to be because like, well, at first I was thinking maybe it's like, you know how there's like I don't know what the alphabet's called, guys, where it's like alpha, beta,
delta.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. But I don't think O is. It's like they use it in like NATO. What is that thing? What is that company?
NASA.
NASA. What is NATO? What's NATO?
North American
Trade Organization?
Yeah,
No.
I think so.
This
is bad. You should like
NASA. Anyway,
yeah.
NASA uses the whole like alpha, beta. I don't know what the fuck is that called.
But sometimes it's like we should know this. It's like
What do
a
you mean we should
certain
know
alphabet because they do it sometimes when they're saying like.
Let me Google.
Okay.
How do I Google this?
Just say alpha, beta.
Alpha. Okay, but what is that thing like? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like you need to spell something and you're like talking on the phone.
A as in alpha.
Yes.
B as in
so
Bravo.
That's different than
C as in Charlie.
Oh yeah, So that's different than alpha beta then.
Yeah. I think so. Anyway, guys.
Okay. What's the alpha beta situation?
We've just looked very stupid.
Okay, I'm sorry. What is? I need to know this. Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta. There you go. Pilot aviation. Okay, so I'm not totally crazy. I mean, it's not NATO, but it's NASA. Did NASA make this up? No, it is NATO. Oh my God, guys! I would like an apology from Daniel. First of all,
that's not happening.
Where did I get this? I don't even understand. Okay, listen. I don't know why.
I'm actually in shock right now.
It all comes around, okay? So once again, Rose is right. Rose is very intelligent. Okay, it says the International Radio Telephony Spelling Alphabet, commonly known as the NATO Phonetic Alphabet, NATO Spelling Alphabet, blah, 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 but I don't know where NASA came from. But anyways,
but
either
NASA
way,
probably uses it. I mean,
yes, is the most widely used radio telephone spelling alphabet. Oh my God.
Can you check if Omicron is on there?
I would like to still bask in the glory of the fact that I knew it was NATO, but anyway.
O as in Omicron?
Let's see. O as in Oscar.
Oh, God.
Okay, so it's Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot. What the fuck? Anyways, Golf is G.
Yeah.
I always get like very stressed out. Like, I don't know if I used to like talk on the phone a lot for one of my jobs.
Yeah.
And every time I had to like spell something and I had to use this like, A as in alpha, like this bullshit.
Yeah.
I would always just when your brain is just like, you can't think of like a word, you're just like D as in dog, like it's some letters are easy, but then some letters you're just like, oh God, what word starts with the J, you're just like, oh my God. And then you don't want to say some dumb letter or dumb word, Yeah. Anyways, I would like to once again.
But,
I mean, have you never spelt things on the phone?
Yeah, I've done that before where I've been like A as in apple.
Oh, but then do you not like stress?
C as in chicken.
But do you not like stress that you can't think of a word?
Not usually.
Am I the only one?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I don't get stressed about them kind of things,
Well, anyways, so once again, NATO, I was correct. I would like to once again point that out. And Daniel made me feel really fucking stupid.
Well, because I've never heard of NATO before.
Oh my God. Well, clearly we know who's the intelligent one in this conversation.
Well, maybe I have. You know what though? I have actually heard of NATO, but I just couldn't remember what it was.
Okay. Well, anyways.
You probably heard about it because you had to use it for your old job.
No, but we didn't like use NATO. We were just like we just used like we just like spelled shit.
Oh, I thought you had like a little.
No, it wasn't. No, I didn't work for fucking NASA. If I had a cheat sheet, I wouldn't be stressed at it. It was just out of your head. So I'd be like, I would say like stupid shit like I don't know, M as in mom, But if I had the fucking cheat sheet. the NATO sheet, then it would have been less stressful.
That's true. I think every work.
What's G? G as in what, Daniel?
Golf.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna ask you. I always said
Gorilla.
G as in ghost.
Or ghost is a good
there
one.
You go. G as in ghost.
Anyway.
That was a long. We're gonna talk about the variant.
Yes,
are we not?
The Omicron. Is it Omicron?
I don't know. Yeah, I
Omicron.
So. Omicron. Let me just double check here.
It's like it's not an easy. It's
Omnicom is a media company, so that's
that.
not it. Okay, hold on. I mean, first I was searching for NATO.
I know.
Anyways, I can't believe I was right.
Omicron.
Omicron. Anyways, so
guys, whoever's naming these viruses, can you just make it a little bit easier?
I know, right? Like, what if you don't speak fucking English?
Exactly.
Okay, people. Like, there are people. Like, make it easy. Okay?
I feel like Delta. That's perfect.
Delta's people relatively
Delta,
easy. But it's like, what is Omicron? Like, are you trying to make us like? I don't know. Like, we're already fighting. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, let's not make it difficult for other people.
Oh, people are fighting in the streets.
Oh, goddamn. Okay, so it says. It's unknown whether variant is more transmissible or dangerous than others. And now there are 2 confirmed cases in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. It's in Canada now. Fuck our fucking lives.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. And so I guess and then there's also some controversy about like restrictions against travel from South Africa.
Yeah.
So that's another like controversy.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
What do you mean, as in like not letting people from South Africa travel?
Like, should this be a controversy?
Well, I mean, are there not restrictions in place already for South African, like not just South Africans, but like global travel in general? Like, I thought most people that are traveling nowadays, they have to be double vaxxed, right?
I think they're just saying like I don't know what the actual restrictions are, but I think they're saying like you can't, if you're from South Africa, you can't like travel here.
Well, they did say even if you're vaccinated, you can still transmit, right?
Yes.
So
I don't know.
It's
a tough one.
It is a tough one, and it's guys like we're like, pardon me. I feel like with another news story that we're going to talk about in a minute as well. It's like we're going back.
Oh, there's no going back. We're just like in a
hamster wheel.
Hamster wheel.
This is it. We are in a hamster wheel situation.
Oh God, Daniel, what are we gonna do?
Mm-hmm. We're actually in a hamster wheel situation, and the wheel is burning. Okay, and the sea levels are rising at the same time in our fucking hamster wheel.
Oh my God!
And we all gonna die.
We all gonna die.
You know,
D as in die.
D as in die. I always say, well, I don't always say, but they always say, they, whoever they are.
Who's they?
I don't know. They like to use those pronouns. Okay.
No,
just kidding, guys. No, they as in society or those people.
Okay.
But one of the sayings that they say is there's 2 things there. Well, and I don't know.
Oh, like I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only 2 things that you can count on with 100% certainty in life.
Oh, good.
And you know what that is? Death and taxes. Those are the only 2 things.
Why you gotta bring the mood down like this? Okay.
Guys, I thought I was bringing it up.
Daniel, I need you to go back to your 19-year-old very positive and happy self.
Oh God, Rose, that person died a long time ago, Rose, and you made sure of it. You helped bury him. Rose is the one with the goddamn shovel, you know? You took the naivete away from me.
Oh, you guys. I am dying today.
Yeah.
Continue.
One of Rose's favorite moments that she mentioned to me a couple times is like if I'm in a lot of physical and mental pain. For example, if I'm viciously hungover,
which happened multiple times in Cancun,
yeah.
FYI.
Yeah, and I would be like, because I get a little bit salty, I guess you could say when I'm.
Oh, That is an understatement and a half.
And Rose is living for it.
Oh my God, it is so funny, you guys. I love grumpy, sick Daniel. Like, I feel bad laughing at him when he's like in pain, but when he's like hung over and just like not in a good place, he is the funniest person. Because he's just so, I can't describe it. Like, it's just
You have
like,
it's one of those you have to be there kind of moments.
you have to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's one of my favorite Daniels. You know, when he's underslept.
Yeah. Hungry.
Hungover. Hungry.
Yeah.
Hungry's a good one. You're the major hangry king.
Yeah, I am. I am the definition of hangry. It's crazy because some people, they can be hungry and they just are themselves. As soon as I'm hungry, everyone knows. Like,
am I hangry?
You're not as bad as me.
No, I'm
but
not as bad as you.
You do get a little bit.
I do get hangry.
But I actually, like, if it goes too long, I start to get snappy and stuff.
Oh yes, you do, Daniel.
Yeah. You know what, Rose? That's more if I'm desperate for the loo.
If you're desperate for the loo, what happens? You get snappy?
Then
No.
Yeah.
When you're desperate for the loo, you're not as snappy. But when you're hungover, it's like everything is pissing you off.
Oh God.
Anyways, but it's great. I love it. I just laugh.
You live for that moment.
I live for that moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, the variant, fantastic, great. When is this fucking over, guys? When is this motherfucking thing over?
Careful, that's hot tea, Rose.
I don't care. We might as well just give up now.
Don't spill the tea. But I don't know, guys. It's just, I don't know how everyone's feeling about this. Like, there's mixed feelings. People are saying, oh God, is there going to be like another lockdown?
Oh God. I mean, we don't know anything yet, so let's not freak out yet.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time this comes out to the public, there's going to be a lot more information out.
This is true. But this is very, guys, this is another thing you guys should be, those that are watching on the public platforms.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind that our episodes are like a week but delayed.
Yes.
So quite often, like, new information, and I always like see that in the comment section, like someone will be like, oh my God, you guys missed this huge point. And I'll be like, but that story came out like 2 days ago and we covered this like a week ago. Like, so, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. There's still a lot of unknowns, as there is with coronavirus itself still. But there's a lot of unknowns with this new variant. I think, time will tell to see if it's, more, they're saying it's potentially more, transmissible.
Potentially,
yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Hopefully the vaccines will protect us against it.
Yeah.
So there's worry that the vaccines.
Well, that's why we need to get the vaccines to the countries that don't have the vaccines yet, or like that don't have many people vaccinated, because that's where all these new variants are coming from, right? So we need to get all of these other nations vaccinated. Yeah,
Rose, but it's an uphill battle.
God damn. Well,
it's a struggle.
The thing is, a lot of like, take the fucking vaccines from the people that don't want the vaccine in like the States or Canada, and bring them. Isn't that simple?
Yeah, kind of.
Like, why can't we just, because like, don't they have an expiration date? Like, there's only a certain few months that you can use the vaccine, right?
I'm not sure.
Otherwise, I think it goes to waste. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So why can't we just like give those vaccines to countries that need the vaccine and people are willing to take the vaccine? Because there are tons of countries, I'm sure, in like Africa, like all over Africa, I'm sure there's tons of countries where people are like desperate for the vaccine. Yeah. So, because like that's where, like we've always discussed on this podcast, it's like there's our world is so interconnected that even if we are to be selfish and like only care about ourselves, we're still probably going to like, this new variant's already in Canada. So when we don't help other countries, when other countries are not vaccinated, everyone gets impacted.
Exactly. Well, this is the, and I made this analogy so many podcast episodes ago. I think I made it a few times.
Is it the ship?
It's the ship. Yes. It's one of my favorite analogies because it makes so much sense. And sorry guys, it has to do with combating these global issues that we're facing, right? It's different if it's like an isolated issue that's only impacting one country, then, obviously it's still good to send aid and whatever else. But with these global, like a global pandemic, global warming, all of these kind of huge things that are happening, we can't operate in isolation. We're in a fucking dome together, right? So at the end of the day, like, you're right. One country could be at 100% vaccinated. Great, there's no cases, whatever. But then if there's countries that aren't, there's going to get mutations, variants that are eventually going to come into that country that was 100% vaccinated. So like, you're never going to win. And you're in the sinking ship, guys. If you haven't heard me, what's the expression? Beat this to the pulp. This is like, me and Rose are in a ship and we have two little buckets and we're like doing everything that we can to get water out of this ship. But then there's 7 people behind us with fire hoses filling it up, it's like we're gonna sink.
Yeah.
No matter how hard we do this, and eventually we will give up because we'll see what's happening and we're like, well, what's the point?
Mm-hmm. That's what's happening with global warming.
Exactly. Well, that is what's happening. So
damn, Daniel.
Be scary as hell. So
God.
amongst other kind of COVID related news, I guess COVID cases have been kind of rising over in Europe.
Yep.
Again. And Vienna in Austria entered into another national lockdown.
God damn.
Yeah. And do
they have the new variant? Do you know?
I'm not sure about that,
okay.
but there's been huge demonstrations all over Europe. So there's been demonstrations in Brussels, Vienna, Rome, Amsterdam, because of these new COVID restrictions that are starting to get into place again in Europe.
Yeah.
So what I
mean, are people vaccinated? Like, what are the details?
I think that they don't have as high vaccination rates. There is chat. This is another thing that's really scandalous.
Yeah.
February 1st next year, it will make Austria the first European country to introduce compulsory vaccination.
Oh shit, motherfucker!
Yeah. So
are you serious? That's controversial, isn't it?
Yes.
Wait. Are any vaccines? And I'm genuinely curious. Are there any vaccines, not COVID, but like any vaccines that are compulsory in any country? Like I feel like there must be.
I don't know.
I
honestly don't know off the top of my head. I know, like for
about,
example,
like, yellow fever and shit.
But I don't know if it's compulsory. I don't think it's you're forced to do it.
But then if you're going to travel there, you have to get it.
Yeah.
For example, if I were to travel to certain countries, I have to have a yellow fever vaccine.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess it's not compulsory because I don't have to travel there.
Exactly. You don't have to. You're not.
But then what about
forced.
people living there?
But then maybe they don't have access to those particular vaccines, or
right.
I don't know. I honestly, guys, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But definitely,
Austria.
Yeah.
Oh God, how do we feel about this?
I don't know. Mixed.
I know. I'm mixed.
Yeah. It's a tough one. I know we've gone not back and forth, but we've talked about like vaccine and, frustrations around people not getting vaccinated. But at the same time, should we be forcing everyone to get vaccinated? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Saying like, and how are you going to force people? Like, if I'm like, I don't want to get it, are you going to like,
I don't know. That's the thing. How are they going to force people?
Well, this is it, right?
That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Austria, that's a really Austria is a pretty nice country to live in, right?
Yeah.
Like I think they're voted, like Vienna is very often voted one of the best cities in the world, I think. So it's not like it's like some kind of tyrannical government. Mm-hmm. So I find that very interesting. It's I really don't know how I feel about it because on one hand, like you're right, I don't want to force people to get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think we live under this delusion that we live in a free society where we're all free.
Exactly. We can all do our own things. Which is you can't take that right away from me.
Yeah. For example, if you don't have money, are we really free in our society? Like you can't do anything if you don't have money. You have to have money. That implies that there is no such thing as freedom.
It's simple. Like, I mean, there's rules that are in place in society.
Yes, like you go to jail. So you literally lose your freedom when you do things, right?
That are against the rules that we've established.
Exactly.
So we're not living in some free, it is free to some degree, but it's not like, you know what I mean? There are rules in place and those rules are in place to protect all of us as well.
I mean, some of them, yes.
Some of them, yeah. To some
not
degree.
all of them.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I think my the way that I come at this is a little bit different. And I think I've mentioned this in the podcast before, guys, because I've my thoughts have changed a little bit on vaccinations, not changed so much.
Okay.
I still think that we should get them.
Sure.
I got mine. I would encourage my friends and family to get it as well. However, if someone for whatever reason is really adamant and is like, you know what, I don't want to get this vaccination. One, I think, okay, I guess that is their choice. Right.
Okay.
But on the flip side, I think if it's like, and this is where there's that slippery slope around the hospitals and stuff.
Oh, right.
But my argument is, okay, you know what? In a place like Austria, instead of making it mandatory to vaccinate everyone, say to them, okay, that's fine. You know what? We're not going to put restrictions in place. We're not going to stop anybody from doing anything. If you aren't vaccinated, you can still do everything that the vaccinated people can do.
Oh.
However, if you get COVID, because you haven't got your vaccine, you waive your right to the hospitals.
Yeah.
And you have to live in your house or do whatever. And it might seem really harsh, but at the same time, it's like you're making that decision. You live with the consequences of your decision.
Right.
Right. So I don't know. It's a bit like, you know what I mean? But I think that's one way to say, hey, you know what? That way hospitals wouldn't get overwhelmed because the people that were going would generally be,
yes,
there would probably be a lot. Well, I know in Alberta, for example, 90, I got this this flyer and it was telling you a bunch of stats as of like mid-October. And it was like in the ICU, it was like 95% of people were unvaccinated.
Sure.
And then they said people with adverse reactions to the COVID vaccine in Alberta was people that didn't have an adverse reaction to the vaccine was 99.98%.
Right. So basically, like almost 100% of people did not have any adverse reactions. Yes. But then most of the people that are in the ICU have not had the vaccine.
Yes. So then my argument is, again, look, okay, you know what? You don't want to get the vaccine. You're concerned what's in the vaccine. You're concerned about all this stuff. Okay, fine. That's, you want to make that decision, but you have to respect that you live in a society whereby if you choose that decision, you are choosing not to go to the hospital if you get COVID, because then you're going to take a bed away from somebody else that might have got the vaccine that isn't in there for COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I mean, I think that makes sense, especially at first I was iffy with this because obviously like we've discussed this before where it's like, there's people go to hospitals for all kinds of reasons.
Drug overdoses.
A lot of a lot of
alcohol
them
poisoning.
due to their fault. Like, I'm sorry, but like, shit happens. Maybe you were drunk on a scooter and you fell and whatever. You make dumb choices, but you can still get help at the hospital. But I think you made a good point where it's like, but it's not like the hospitals are being overwhelmed by those,
individuals.
People.
Exactly.
Right. So right now we're having a very unique situation where we have this like pandemic that is overwhelming hospitals. And that's the biggest problem. So I think until that's like maybe calm down a little bit, I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm more comfortable with that than like mandatory vaccinations.
Yeah, because I think mandatory, I do feel like, and although
I don't know how I feel about mandatory, I'm not fully against it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of against it, but
I would
not
prefer
fully.
if we had the two options. If Canada
the hospital option.
If Canada did a vote and Canada was like, look, we can either make mandatory vaccinations or we can get rid of all restrictions and we'll say, you don't have
all restrictions. God damn, Daniel.
Well, maybe not all restrictions, but like basically what I'm meaning by that is like if you're vaccinated or not, you can still do all the same things in public. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not
go to restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like all restrictions.
Exactly. So everybody can do that. But those people that are choosing not to get vaccinated, if they get COVID, if they get drunk and hit themselves on a scooter,
then they can go to the hospital.
Sure. But if you have COVID and we have a solution right here wrapped in a silver bow, a proven solution.
I know.
That takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. That is your choice. You live with the consequences of your choice.
Right.
If you make, I'm not saying if it's a good or a bad choice, it's that person's choice.
Sure.
But the consequence of that choice, because again, and we kind of talked about this as well, it's like you don't trust a vaccine, which, again, these are people's choices and thoughts and whatever else, but yet you'll trust a hospital to care for you when you get COVID. So you can't have both.
Oh, God.
So live your life, go do what you want to do without vaccinations. However, do not take up those hospital beds.
Right. So I guess there's...
I guess I'm harsh as hell, guys. But
no, I think it's fair. I mean...
I like that much better than mandatory because mandatory is going to... You know what this is going to do for all those conspiracy theorists and everything else? Right. They're going to have a field day with this. They're going to be like, look, Austria's doing this.
Sure.
Now Canada's going to be next.
It's
going to be a global... They're trying to control us.
Yep.
Like...
Yeah.
So I would rather say,
it'll feed into the conspiracies.
Exactly. You make your choice.
To be fair, the conspiracy, like they'll believe in some kind of conspiracy no matter what.
Exactly. No matter what.
But yeah, the mandatory thing does not help for sure. So I guess like there's all these fucking demonstrations. Belgium, there's demonstrations in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff like. Because I guess they don't want any more lockdowns. I don't know. I mean, I understand. Like, it's been fucking 2 years almost.
Yeah.
So I get it. Like,
and I feel like also we got to a place in the last couple of months, well, at least in Canada, where it's kind of felt a bit more almost normal.
Almost normal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we went on our first international trip in a while, and now all this shit's happening, and you're just kind of like, okay, well, was that, a blissful blip? And now we're back into the hurricane.
Well, remember last year? It was like kind of normal in the summer and stuff.
That's true.
And then like in the winter, it was like, oh, lockdown again.
Yeah.
So, but that was a pre-vaccine.
Yeah.
So like, I just feel like with the vaccine, I feel a lot more safe. But then now there's this new variant.
Yeah. So, oh God, guys.
Is there any non-COVID news?
There sure is. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh God damn.
Because I'm sick of this bullshit.
Crazy as hell today.
Damn. Well, if COVID doesn't kill us, climate change will. So continuing on.
We should talk about that climate change video.
Oh yes, I was going to talk about it.
Oh God, guys.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is like some kind of breaking news. I don't think it is. Basically, a YouTube channel that I follow called the Young Turks.
So
they're
good,
like a
guys. Check them
progressive.
out.
Yeah, they're like a progressive, like big online news, like independent news network. I don't know how to describe them. I love them. They get a lot of hate, but
I can see why, because a lot of their stuff is a bit not controversial, but a lot of their stuff like and about like what they're talking about. They always talk about what we talk about.
Yes.
Capitalism and how it's the root cause of all evil.
And they're very unapologetic about their views. Mm-hmm. So they did this like segment where they basically talked about how like I think it was like 9 or 10 countries that are going to be potentially underwater by cities, not countries, but cities that could be underwater by like as early as 2030, I think.
Well, and I think when they said underwater, I think they didn't mean like completely submerged, but they meant like there's water, like if they don't take precautions or continue doing what they're doing, like there's going to be areas of the city that are heavily flooded.
I mean, which like, for example, Venice, like I think it's already happening. It's been happening for a while. Yeah. But yeah, some of those cities are like Amsterdam, Venice. I can't remember all of them, but basically, like we're.
Well, it was interesting.
And we were just talking about how Amsterdam's such a good place to live. Yeah. And now we're just like, well, fuck, it's gonna be underwater in the next fucking 20 years.
Well, this is the thing. They said that Amsterdam, they used Amsterdam as an example. And they said, the Netherlands in general, they're really good at making these like flood defenses, basically. And they said, obviously, they're going to have to continue to do this to combat climate change and to combat this rising sea level. But like, there comes a point, right? Like, it's like Rose and I were talking about New York, for example, because think about all the major cities, guys. Like, a lot of them are right on the ocean, right on sea, right next to the sea level. So New York's another example. Like, if they, if it starts rising and rising and New York has to start building flood barriers or whatever, what are they going to do? Build themselves into a dome?
I was like, are we going to live in like Truman Show where like we're just gonna have domes as like countries? Yeah. Like we're just gonna have like giant walls? Like, is that what's gonna have to happen?
I don't know.
Can you imagine? What a dystopia.
Oh God. So basically we're actually
it's like we won't have ships. Like we'll just have to like every land border will just have like a giant wall.
Oh God.
I don't know, man.
And like the resources needed to do that, and it's crazy because this particular YouTube video, because Rose sent it to me and I watched it as well, that the Young Turks were talking about, and they made a really good point. They were like, you know what? It's interesting to see how so many countries, and the U.S. is like the example that they used, where they're just not taking it seriously and putting enough resources behind it. And they said on the flip side, if there was a like country B that was coming to attack U.S. and every year they sent a few more soldiers and a few more soldiers and a few more soldiers, you can bet that the U.S. would be building up defenses against this, right? And they said, like, it's so crazy because climate change versus political or, kind of military turmoil is a lot more predictable and forecastable. Sure. Right? Because we see the climate change is happening. We know, we have scientists forecasting. We don't know exactly the rates it's going to happen, but we know it's kind of a slow moving kind of, now it seems to be faster moving kind of thing versus like a political turmoil. You don't know when that's going to happen. Right. That's very unpredictable. So they're like, it's crazy to them that like the governments are not, doing it, like not taking it seriously. And then insane. On top of it, it's like you have a lot of these corporations whereby they're engaged in a lot of these kind of industries that are damaging to the environment and everything else. They're walking away with profits, and then the governments are having to step in to do like environmental remediation work, which is essentially they're using taxpayers' dollars, so we're all paying for it while other people are walking away with profits. So
when they're the ones doing the damage,
exactly,
it's insane.
It's a crazy model,
and they're bought by the government, which is why there's not much done. Or they buy the government, which is why there's not much done about this whole situation, because all of these companies pay into the government so that there's no laws against them when they do the environmental damage.
I wonder what it's going to take though for the globe to take this seriously.
Know.
Like, and I pose this question to you guys as well. Yeah. Like, what do you think is going to have to happen on a global level? Because already we're seeing crazy shit happen all over the world. Right? Like, it's not like there's not crazy shit happening. And it's like, at what level does it have to happen before everyone's like, oh shit, We really need to do
I
something.
think we're gonna have to start losing, like some big companies are gonna have to start losing tons of money for some reason. Maybe there's some kind of like, I don't know, huge destruction of like Wall Street, or you know what I mean? Like something has to economically like severely impact the big powerful people in order for anything to change, in my opinion.
Like imagine there was like a flash flood where the sea levels rose. You know how they're predicting, a millimeter each year?
Sure.
And all of a sudden, in like a month, New York City was wiped out.
Sure.
I think it wasn't just a flash flood. It's flooded and the water's not going down.
Yeah.
Then I think something like that, then people are going to be like, holy fuck.
Yep.
That city's gone.
Uh-huh.
So I think then
maybe,
you know, unfortunately, like
because people have real estate there.
Billions of dollars of real estate.
Uh-huh.
You wipe out a city like New York.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey?
Billions of dollars of real estate.
And it's a small, like Manhattan's a very small little, piece of land.
Yeah.
And there's so much wealth in that little piece of land.
Concentrated right in that small little.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
But when you see some of the apartments and stuff, like the luxury,
know.
like $30 million US for a fucking apartment, I'm like, holy shit.
I know. People are crazy.
But I mean, it's insane. And think about that. If that got if New York flooded, all of those properties would get wiped out, and that value would get wiped out overnight.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Your whole, like, if your whole life savings, which would be so sad, was like in property investments in real estate.
Well, let's be honest. If you're that rich, you probably have money elsewhere as well.
True.
Like if you have real estate, if you have a lot of real estate in New York, you're probably going to be fine. But yeah, you'll still be severely impacted. But anyways, what is this story?
Well, I guess basically this is like a specific story, but in general,
right,
what is happening is, I guess I think it's on December 6th. Don't quote me on that, guys. But there's the Formula One Saudi Arabian Grand Prix that's taking place in Saudi Arabia. Justin Bieber is one of several different like recording artists that are supposed to be there to perform. And basically there's been a lot of backlash.
Is it because of Saudi Arabia's human rights violations?
Yes.
Okay.
All the human rights violations. There was like tons of stuff that's been happening. International groups have been but like releasing so much information about what's going on in Saudi Arabia. And basically, it's December 5th. Sorry, guys, not December 6th. And basically they're coming forward and asking people to not perform. And this
to boycott.
Exactly. To boycott the Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia. And also to like put your money where your mouth is and, not perform at this Grand Prix event.
I mean, it says here that the fiance of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, she's the one that made this like open letter basically saying to Justin Bieber, like, don't go to this performance. Yeah. And I guess what happened was Khashoggi, this person's fiance, was killed at the Saudi consulate. I remember this. Yeah, I remember this story. In 2018, basically, he was killed in Istanbul, but in the Saudi consulate. Yeah. And basically, they are saying that Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was the one that was like responsible for this. No, because yes,
he denied any involvement.
He denied. Yeah, of course. And I mean, it's probably very obvious that is what happened. I mean, we all know. I mean, I don't know if we all know, but Saudi Arabia is very well known for a lot of human rights violations. Yeah.
In the letter that his fiance wrote, she just wrote in her plea. She's like, cancel your December 5th performance. This is a unique opportunity to send a powerful message to the world that your name and talent will not be used to restore the reputation of a regime that kills its critics.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? It makes sense in a lot of ways. I've heard of people doing stuff like this. Like, for example, like when like Israel, for example, when artists perform in Israel, like there's always like some people like petitioning for them not to perform there because they're against like what Israeli government is doing, for example. But yeah, I don't know.
It's a tough one. She goes on later to write continuing in this particular plea to Justin Bieber. She said that last year you wrote to your followers, I want to use the platform I have to remind people that racism is evil and it is ingrained in our culture. Considering this very honorable commitment that you have made to take a stand against injustice, please use your platform now to support the case of human rights in Saudi Arabia.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. How do you feel about this? Do you think that like he should cancel?
Well, I think because And it's not just this particular incident of this journalist that was killed.
Of course.
I think because like Saudi Arabia is known for this, like, you know, this regime and everything else. It's been talked about for quite a few years now. There's a lot of human rights stuff going on there. I think, in my opinion, like if I was him, and again, I don't know, it's hard to say because I'm not in that situation.
Right.
I don't think I would want to perform. For example, if I became a world famous artist or whatever,
sure.
and they were trying to book me in countries that, you know, where LGBT rights was not a thing.
Right.
Like they wanted me to perform in Moscow in Russia.
Right.
I wouldn't want to go.
Right.
But then I guess part of me is like, is that a good or a bad thing? Because, you know, maybe it's important for me to be there to represent LGBTQ people. You know what I mean? So it's a tough thing.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, torn on this a little bit. Like I'm kind of mostly on what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm torn because, you know, I see this, I see the argument, but I also see that like the citizens are a little bit of a different situation.
This is the thing. Yeah.
This is where I'm torn, where, you know, it's like just because I'm torn because yes, the government is doing all this shit and there's definitely some shady shit going on. But at the same time, it's like, at what point, where do we draw the line? There's a lot of governments that are really shady doing all kinds of fucking shit.
Yeah.
So that's why it's tough. I feel like there is no clear line.
Yeah.
And, you know, citizens are not necessarily to blame for what's happening, you know, in the government. And I don't know, it's tough. But at the same time, I get her point too, because it's like, this is his chance to be like, oh, actually, what's happening in Saudi Arabia? Like, he could actually raise a lot of awareness on this topic. That's
where it's hard. I watched an interesting movie that's called The Green Book. And it's about this amazing pianist who happens to be a person of color, and he performs.
Isn't Green Book? No, it's not the Green Book. Green Mile, you mean?
No.
Is it Green Book?
And it's like 99.
What's the movie that recently came out? Oh no, it was the Green Book. Okay.
Yeah.
The one that won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Okay, you made it sound like it was like some independent film. That's what
no.
You're like, oh yeah, I watched this one interesting movie. It's like me saying, oh yeah, I watched this one interesting movie. It's called Titanic.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused.
What's Titanic,
oh my
Is that an independent film? But anyway, guys.
I was like, is that the movie that won the Oscar? Is it called Green Book?
Yeah.
Anyways.
So anyway, Green Book. It was about this artist, and he deliberately went and performed down south. Even though down south they're really about like segregation and
he was black.
And he was black, yeah.
Yes. During the era when everything was segregated.
Exactly. And it was interesting because he was like, I want to not make a stand. Like he would still try to somewhat follow the rules. But it was an interesting situation because people were going to see him. Right. And it was like pretty much it was all white people going to like these events down south, and they were going to see him because he's an amazing artist, like he's phenomenal. And yet there was situations within the movie where like he couldn't dine in the same dining room as everyone, even though he was the guest of honor performing there that night. Yeah,
so messed up.
But and I remember his like friend that he met throughout this, his like driver or whatever. He asked like some of the band, they're like, why does he do this? And he was like, well, we actually don't have to perform down here, but he insists. Because he wants to go down there and start the ball for change.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Which makes sense.
Yeah. So this is where it's like, it gets hard because some people would be like, I want to boycott those areas because of what they're doing to those people.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's such a...
I know. I think one thing that a lot of these people that are for the boycotts, I think one argument that I've heard frequently when it comes to Israel, I'm not sure about Saudi Arabia, but back in... when South Africa was under apartheid, this is how they got out of apartheid because basically they cut off all kinds of, it wasn't just entertainment though. It was like, I think the international community or whatever happened.
Oh, they did trade sanctions.
Yeah, sanctions. And like, it was just basically just things got cut off and things were boycotted.
Yeah.
And I guess that worked. And that's how, what the mother, is that your phone? God damn. Anyways. And that is apparently how, I mean, I don't know much about the history of South Africa and the apartheid, but that's what I heard is what happened. And so there is that argument there as well, right? Like the argument that like, if everyone kind of like boycotts, you know, then it's, you know, potentially a catalyst for change.
Yeah.
I mean, do I think that boycotting concerts do I think that's going to be a catalyst? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But you could argue for other things like trade sanctions, for example.
And I think ultimately, and I think why trade sanctions does work in some circumstances, is I think that, you're hitting them where it hurts.
Oh, of course.
Because obviously, because we're such an international community, as we mentioned before, like everywhere is reliant. And also a lot of countries make a lot of money trading.
Exactly.
So if you start cutting them off and you're saying, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm cutting you off from trade from out the world. Like you're basically handcuffing their billionaires.
Well, exactly.
And they're going to be like, well, I can't make my money now.
That's why it works.
And then
I do wonder exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I doubt it's because a few artists didn't go to the didn't go to the country.
It's an interesting one though. I put that question out to you guys that are listening.
You guys think?
Yeah, let us know. Like, put yourself in Justin Bieber's shoes, for example.
J
Biebs. Representing Canada. But like, imagine you are a world-renowned celebrity. You're doing performances all over the world, and you got faced with this. What would you do? Like, how would you approach this? Because you're right. I'm on a 50-50 camp at the moment, where I'm like 50% of me wants to like boycott and send a message that way, but then a 50% of me is like, you don't also want to punish the people there that aren't necessarily part of this horrible like regime and things that are that don't have a lot of control as to what's going on there.
Yeah.
So
it's hard. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, in J Bieb's situation, I might cancel it. I don't know if I were in his situation.
I think with this direct letter,
this direct letter is just very direct. It's very like, J Biebs, like, do you care about this? It's very like, and I'm sure he doesn't know. I mean, let's be honest. He probably doesn't know that much about Saudi Arabia, what's going on over there.
Yeah.
But if you got a letter like this, I mean, if I were in his shoes, I'd probably look into it a little bit and be like, you know what? She's probably right. It's probably not worth performing there. Might as well talk about the issues going on.
Exactly. And then, just think to yourself like, I was going to make like $5 million doing that performance, but I already have, 125 bazillion in my bank account.
Exactly.
I think I'll get some press interviews and talk about the issues that are happening there and not go. So I guess it's tough.
I wonder what's going to happen.
Let's see. We're gonna find out.
Are they trying to boycott Formula One as well?
I think so. I think there's like a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
So we'll see. December 5th, guys.
Interesting.
Let's see if Formula One.
That's really soon.
Like literally.
Oh my god, that's in like less than a week.
This episode is probably gonna already be out.
Yeah.
So you guys will see.
We'll find out then.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens.
Anyway, I mean, I have a story that I want to discuss.
Oh god dang.
I don't know if this is on our Rhoda.
Yeah.
Rhoda? Is that
is it the Mr.Beast story?
No, but I heard about that too.
Yeah.
But Ahmaud Arbery. Do you know this story? God damn, Danny, you don't follow the news?
What happened?
Do you know Ahmaud Arbery? Okay, well. So back in, I can't remember when this was.
Okay.
But I believe it was when, the whole height of the black versus white, all these people, like all these black people getting killed, like all the shit, right? Like last year maybe, okay? This guy named Ahmaud Arbery was jogging. Okay.
No.
You know the story.
I know the story. Yeah.
Yes. You just couldn't remember the name.
Yeah.
So he was jogging in this neighborhood. I don't know the exact details now. It's very fuzzy.
Yeah.
But he was jogging in this neighborhood, and I guess he like stopped at this like abandoned house, not an abandoned house, but like a house under construction.
Yeah.
He went inside. He was curious, looked around, just like, whatever, just jogging, whatever. He's in a neighborhood. He jogs there, I'm sure, all the time.
Yeah.
He's jogging, and then I guess these two, I think father and son, I believe. I think there was 3 of them in total, men. Decided they saw this guy jogging and was like, that guy looks suspicious. Let's follow him. So they got into a vehicle, started like chasing him down, and eventually they killed him. They shot him multiple times, I believe.
Yeah, I remember.
And they killed him.
Fuck.
Because he was jogging in this neighborhood. Anyways, so I'm sure you guys have heard of this story. So those men, and for like a month, like nobody got arrested, I think.
Yeah.
It was very shady. And I think they only got arrested when like a video of this like resurfaced on social media.
Yeah.
And finally these 3 like they got charged, and they actually got convicted guilty.
Yeah.
Thank fuck.
God damn.
So yeah, they were found guilty. I don't know exactly what the let me actually Google this.
What the charges were.
But this comes like a week after the whole Kyle Rittenhouse trial.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
So are you saying that they just got charged now?
They just got
okay.
I think they just got sentenced, but let me just see here.
It's so slow, isn't it?
It's really slow. I don't understand the justice system.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's like a year and a half later.
Yeah, I think it's because everyone has to collect all the evidence.
Yeah.
I guess. So each side has to like collect the evidence and then like present it. And like there's probably a lot of logistics involved, like getting like.
And I think a lot of the actual trials last sometimes months.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
For
like
sure.
months of. But I'm like, how much do you guys have to talk about?
I don't know.
Like, I'm so
like,
sorry.
Do you ever
like,
want to be in a jury?
Just kind of, just see what happens.
I mean, usually when you do jury duty, it's usually something really fucking boring, I heard.
Yeah, true.
But like, imagine getting like a case like this. Like, holy fuck.
Have you been asked for jury duty?
No, I don't think so.
I haven't either. Where?
Like, we're upstanding citizens. We should be asked for jury duty. It says here, let's see. So last week, a jury handed down 23 guilty verdicts against, because I guess they were charged with like multiple things,
offenses,
against 3 white men who murdered Ahmaud Arbery in Glynn County, Georgia last year. Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan all now face mandatory sentences of life in prison.
Yeah.
It'll be up to the judge to decide whether their sentences are served with or without the possibility of parole. So they're going to get life sentences.
And so they should.
And so they should. What the fuck?
Who
the fuck? Why? Where the fuck?
Exactly. Like who? You're going literally. You're
Chasing
going
down
for
a man.
a jog in your
Oh my God.
community.
Can you imagine?
Like that's insane.
Like what the fuck? Like,
But how sad is it that he got killed in his
oh my,
community
it's
going
so
for a jog?
sad. Like it is so. And it's like, is it kind of like when somebody's jogging, dude? Like. It's kind of fucking obvious they're fucking jogging.
It
you know
is
what? You
very
know what I mean?
obvious.
Like it's not like you're running like weirdly. Like you know what I mean? Like
And suspiciously like running like this.
you're not like fucking sprinting. Usually like
it's
jogger.
a leisurely jog.
Yes, like you could tell somebody is just jogging. Like what the fuck are you like?
Ain't nobody being what's his name, Hussein Bolt or whatever, you know,
Who the
running
fuck is
like one of the world's fastest men, like fucking sprinting like you know,
Yes.
like crazy.
Like why are you like what? Why?
It's scary because like think about it. Like imagine you were just running
Seriously,
because we jog in our communities, and think about it, like somebody just chasing you down.
Crazy. It's actually fucking crazy. I can't even believe it. I'm just glad they got actually convicted.
No,
because,
that's actually really positive
but
news.
what is going on in your head? Like even just like selfishly thinking about themselves. It's like why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like did you do it thinking you were gonna get away with it? Probably.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh God. Anyways, we'll find out if they get parole or no parole. I don't know how they decide that, but
I'm not sure either.
I guess we'll find out.
But that's
that's good
really
news.
positive.
Yeah. But you know what? You know what I realized after the Kyle Rittenhouse thing? So I've been reading up, like, again, I don't know too much yet, but I guess like a lot of people are on like his side. A lot of people are saying it is fully self-defense. Like they're like, it is fully self-defense.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, I'm still like torn on this. I'm not torn on it. Like I don't. The problem is, I think the mindset in the States is that like you need to have a gun or like it's a very gun driven mindset.
Yeah.
And because of that, the way that I think is so different. Like the way that I think is like, why do you even have a gun in the first place?
Well, exactly. This would be
like, how is it self-defense?
Because it's not normal. Like in Canada, I'm sorry, but if someone just like shot somebody in the street and tried to claim,
I think what they're saying is in this scenario, they did have like people, I don't know the full details.
they were attacking him.
They were attacking him.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you know, what? But then they were saying other people also had guns.
Yeah.
So it's like, it could have been somebody else, which fair.
It could have been, yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, why do y'all have fucking guns, dude?
I know.
Like fucking like, what the fuck? Anyways.
Rose, you're going to say that a lot in this episode, apparently.
Well, the problem is, it's like, it's scary because then you could just, like, anyone that has a gun, like, you can just shoot somebody and just say it's self-defense.
Well, exactly. Like,
simply because somebody was, like, maybe, like, walking near you funny, you know? And some people have claimed that shit. Like, there have been cases where it's like,
of course.
it's ridiculous. And then they're saying it's fucking self-defense.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking crazy. And also, it depends on the different states.
Yeah.
Like, what the laws are.
Yeah.
So it's like, some states, it's, like, so, like, it's so wishy-washy, the whole self-defense, you know, defense.
Clause, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's crazy because like, and this is my like not my main reason, but like, you know, why I would visit the States, but I would never live there in a million years.
It's so crazy.
And it's so scary because
It's
you know
so scary.
the thing with gun violence is like you can get caught in a ricochet, right? Like
Yeah.
you might not even be involved in the altercation and someone fires a gun. Like if two people start brawling all of a sudden and a gun gets fired and you're crossing the street
Yeah.
across from them,
Yeah.
nothing to do with those people, guess what? You could get killed. Like
Yeah.
that is fucking terrifying. Whereas at least if it was like a knife fight,
Yeah.
the chances of them tossing a knife across the street, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style or something, is very low.
Yeah.
So like at least not that I'm an advocate for gun or knife violence.
Yes.
But the chances of a serious thing happening to a bystander or somebody that's like far away from the situation is a way less than if somebody's having these guns.
I know. It's crazy.
And it's like this self-fulfilling not prophecy, but like I need a gun because this person has a gun and that person has a gun. We all need to have a gun. And then people get shot and killed in self-defense because they have a gun that reinforces that why they need to have a gun.
Exactly.
And they'll be like, now other people in the States that didn't have guns said, well, Kyle needed it to defend himself. If he didn't have that gun, he would have got shot. Yep. Now I need to have a gun.
Yep.
So more people I bet you gun sales went up.
Yeah. I bet you it will.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, you're right. So if somebody's lunging at you and like whoever has the gun wins.
Yeah.
Right? Like whoever has the gun wins. So no wonder everyone's saying like, oh, I need to have a gun. I need to have a gun because you're right. It's definitely like this like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like it's like you need a gun. You feel like you need a gun. So then you get a gun and then you shoot somebody and then it's self-defense and then other people have, it's crazy. It is insanity. Anyway, so just thought I talk about that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh God. What's the next story?
God.
Do we got a next story?
Don't think we do, Roses.
I thought you want to talk about Mr.Beast.
Oh yes. Well, it was a brief. Actually, yeah, you're right.
Is it about Squid Game or some shit? Okay, tell me.
So apparently, so Mr.Beast is a YouTube creator, content creator.
Yes, he's a very big, like huge YouTube creator. I do not watch his videos, but he does like really extravagant, like crazy shit where he like, I don't know, gives away a bunch of money.
Oh yes, I've heard about this before.
You know what I mean? Like not my kind of content, so I don't watch, but he's like massive.
Huge. So Mr. Beast decided to do not a play, but like a real life Squid Game.
Sure.
So he like recreated, and I think he got some investors or somebody was like, I don't know. I don't know if he foot the bill or his production company or whatever, but basically they spent like 3.2 million or something
crazy
to create this Squid Game set.
Right.
And they had all these games that people were playing and again,
crazy.
like competing. And there was like a lot of like controversy about it, like
mixed emotions.
Emotion. Yeah, some people on one camp, people are like, oh, this is amazing, like it shows you what like content creators can do nowadays, the production value, it's so entertaining, all this stuff.
Sure.
And then on the other side, people are like, well, this is just emphasizing the problem with the internet and copying content and not being an original.
Isn't this a trademark issue as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry, like can I just complain for a second?
Oh God, Rose, have you not been complaining for 33 years of your life? God, you came.
I feel like, I'm sorry, this has to be some kind of copyright issue because as a creator, like when I'm a YouTuber, right? I'm a YouTuber.
When you're a YouTuber,
the thing is, YouTube is very how do I say, strict about copyright music. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have like literally even like I swear to God, even if you have like 5 or 10 seconds of, a song, a copyright, not like copywritten song.
Yeah.
In your video, automatically your video is not monetizable. Or like basically what happens, it's either they take your video down depending on who owns the copyright.
Yeah.
They either take your video down or most of the time they just like demonetize it. Oh no, they don't demonetize it. They give the monetization to the copyright holder, I believe. Yeah. So basically your video, you're not making any money out of that video, even if the entire video was an original video. So like everything you did was original. The video had nothing to do with the song. It's just a nice little song in the background.
Yeah.
I get that copyright, laws are very, complicated. They're very strict or whatever. But at the same time, it's like what frustrates me is seeing shit like this. It's like, you're literally copying the whole fucking show, right? Yeah. I get it. It's different. It's real life, like blah, blah, blah. But shouldn't that fall under some kind of copyright law? I would think. I don't know. Because you're right. He didn't copy fully the show. He just did the games that were in it. But it's like the entire fucking concept. Yeah. No? I don't know. What counts as like, I know there's certain things that count as like fair use or whatever, and maybe it was fair use. I don't know. The whole music thing like frustrates me because it's like you can literally do an entire video and everything is unique and everything's amazing. Yeah. And then you have that tiny, and even if you do a cover, you get fucking dinged with copyright. Really? Yes. I didn't know that. Yes. So like if you do a cover of a song, you can't monetize that. Yeah. Because that's not your song. So why can you do a fucking cover of a fucking TV show and you can monetize that shit, but then you can't fucking monetize a cover of a song? I don't know. Explain this to me, people. That actually is a really good point. I didn't even think of it that way because I was thinking. Frustrates me.
you know, I did think right away, I was like, how is he able to do it? But because he is essentially like copying that.
Right? I mean, I haven't watched it, so I don't know. Who knows?
I haven't watched it either, to be honest.
But you're taking a show with like a, you know, like he's I'm sure he's calling it like Squid Game and stuff, right?
I'm pretty sure he is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know.
And also, he's like, literally, I saw screenshots. Like, I just saw, like,
Sure.
And people are like dressed like exactly the same.
Sure.
Same numbers on their like uniforms.
Interesting.
So.
And he's probably bringing in so many views. Like, I heard it got like a ton of views
100
already.
million views.
100 million motherfucking views, guys.
Yeah.
100 million views. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. That's a lot of money.
Like, that is a lot of money. So, I don't know. I don't know. Are they going to sue? Like, what's going to happen?
It's interesting because it's like, did he get explicit permission to do this? Like,
maybe
who knows?
Because I'm sure he has a lot of connections, and maybe he did get permission.
Yeah, because maybe it was he's working with like Netflix or something. Because in a way, it's like promotion for the show.
As if it needed it, but yeah.
I know, as if it did need it. But still, I mean, it's a...
You know what? You're right. Maybe they had some kind of, I don't know, like
deal?
fucking agreement or something.
That could be why he got away with it.
But what was the backlash again? It's because like they're not being creative?
Yeah, like it's a copy. He's basically a carbon copy of what's already happened.
What's already out there.
Yeah. And it's like you're not being an original content creator. You know?
I mean, but everything's a copy of everything.
But this is the thing, and especially in the YouTube space, I feel like it is very incestuous.
I think that was the whole point. He was saying that like on YouTube, like online creators do shit like this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would argue that even just like regular TV shows do the same thing, right?
It's like the Hollywood model, you know, not the model, the Hollywood like movie. They always, even though they
do the same thing.
Even though they're different, there are certain elements of the story that I feel like are so consistent across Hollywood. Happily Ever After, Boy Meets Girl, like just so
and even
many
like Marvel movies,
exactly,
like action movies. They're all the fucking same.
They have the same storyline and plot, basically. I mean, come at me, people, but like, literally.
But then I guess they would be literally taking a show and literally making it into an internet show. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's interesting, but I think he must have had some kind of explicit permission.
He must, like, I'm sure, because he's not stupid, right? He's not like a small creator. He's like a giant. He has a team. He has everyone doing all this shit for him. So I'm sure maybe I'm just like getting ahead of myself, and you know he has all the permissions, but still, like, fucking pisses me off. Anyways.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like,
where do you lie? Like, do you think, are you lying more on the great, like, fantastic, or this is like just a copy?
I don't know. I kind of feel like,
I mean, does it even matter?
Yeah, does it matter? No,
I don't think it really matters. If people like it, sure.
I feel like the thing with Squid Game, the like reason I liked it is it had such a powerful message.
Sure.
And I just feel like by him like making a game out of the game, it almost like takes away from that a little bit.
Yes.
And I think,
have you heard of the controversy with what's John Legend's wife's name? She's like a model. Let me get her name. Anyways, there's a controversy with her because she had some kind of like Squid Game themed party. And the controversy was that because she's like super fucking rich, right?
Yeah.
And she, I guess, invited her like rich friends to like do this like huge like Squid Game themed party, had a prize at the end, all this stuff. And everyone's like, you kind of missed the point of the game. Like you're bringing all your elite friends and doing this thing where it's like the whole message of the game of the show was completely opposite.
Yeah, exactly. The message around inequality and stuff, right? So, and what people are willing to do, how desperate people are for money and stuff.
But at the same time, I think all the reactions that we've seen and all the marketing that's come after Squid Game has shown us that everything that's come out after Squid Game is kind of like a ironic to the show itself. Like,
it's funny because like so many brands have used it for marketing as well. Like, was it our friend that sent us the Heineken thing that was like the Heineken used like one of the symbols from the Squid Game and stuff. So like
brands are using it.
Yeah,
it's literally feeding into this capitalist.
Oh yeah,
world.
hugely. It is. It's so funny because it's such a good piece of work. Like the art. Like I love the show, and I think it's funny how that message is now being like capitalism is taking it and destroying it.
Yes.
Like it does everything.
It's being tainted. Even though the entire point of the fucking show was like an anti-capitalist like message.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it wasn't fully anti-capitalist, but like it definitely had like major, anti-capitalist message, a little bit of that,
Yeah. No, definitely.
God. But I guess the fuck, what is her name? John Legend's wife.
You have to Google her because I have no idea. I don't even know who John Legend is.
'Cause we're ordinary people.
Oh.
Oh my God. God, Daniel. Wait, what's the other song?
Shall I Google
Dun, 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 dun. What would I do without your smart mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Drawing me
Yes,
into
I kn-
you. Yes.
yeah.
Oh, guys, YouTube, don't fucking copyright that shit, okay?
it?
Oh, my God.
Well, you just did a clip of it.
So John Legend's wife, Chrissy Teigen. So she's like, I don't know. I think she was a model. Or she is a model.
Yes, I know who
she
John
is.
Legend is.
Oh, okay, you know who. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
So she's like a model. Anyways, she got some backlash for that, and I forgot. She gets a lot of backlash. I don't know what.
What's her name?
Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, she's had so much backlash. About random
You know her.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of crazy. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on with her.
Because didn't she also get in trouble for like a bunch of nasty tweets or something?
Yeah, she like made like I don't know. This like a few months ago, I think.
Yeah.
She was like outed for being like bullying this one girl.
Somebody on Twitter.
Yeah, like years ago, like long time ago. But like
Yeah.
she made some nasty tweets.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was bad. Like, it was bad. But yeah, she's always under some kind of fucking
Fire.
controversy.
I'm sure when you're in the limelight, you're subject to that, right?
I guess so. Maybe she's
Yeah.
just bored.
Yeah.
Anyways, goddamn. Any more stories?
That's it from the.
Is that a wrap?
That is a wrap for today.
That is a wrap for today.
Goddamn,
guys, lots of stories, lots of interesting stories,
Lots of stuff going on.
thought-provoking stories.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you agree, disagree, whatever your opinions are, let us know. As always, we
Exactly.
love hearing from you. And of course, join us on Patreon so we can shout out your name next week.
Exactly. And get access to exclusive content.
And get it earlier than everybody else.
And ad-free.
Ad-free.
Also, guys, if you happen to be listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, don't forget to hit that follow button. It just means that every time a new episode is uploaded, you guys will get it right away and you'll get notified. Also, follow us on Instagram at The SaVeg Podcast. And yeah,
that's pretty much it.
That's it, guys.
Yeah. Make sure you give this a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for listening or watching. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.